here, I'm going to go over the warm-up and stretching exercises for a tennis player. So what I'm going to start off with first is jump rope. I'm going to shorten it up. I'm only going to go like 20, 30 seconds and get my blood warmed up and get the muscles warm so I can stretch. So here we go. Okay, that's 50 jumps. Now I'm going to go into some basic stretching. First off, I'm going to loosen up my hamstrings. And the way I do that is I have my feet a little bit past shoulder width, and I lock my knees, and then I lean down with my knees locked and let gravity bring me down. Usually I do this for 1 to 2 minutes, and it loosens the lower back and your hamstrings. I'm going to do this for like 30 to 40 seconds. You breathe a little bit. You can even lean to one side. Eventually, as you watch, my hands will touch the ground because my back loosens up. See, like that. Go over here. Loosen up the back and those hamstrings. Ah, there we go. Okay, so there's the hamstrings. And I recommend, again, 1 to 2 minutes on that. You really got to loosen that up. Next, we're going to do the quads. And proverbially, I'd have my hand on a fence, but you can go like this. Put your hand out and look, head up. Pick a spot to look at for balance. I'm looking at a tree, and hold this for at least 20 to 30 seconds. It gets the hamstring. Okay? Try to balance yourself out. I'll go back a little bit so I'm not cutting off the camera. Now the other side. Very important so you don't get injured that you do proper stretching. Okay, next, I do trunk twisters. I kind of work from the bottom up. Actually, I'll do my knees first. I put my knees together, and there's a fluid called synovial fluid. When you rotate your joints, it's released. It's like lubrication to the joint. So I do like 10 to 15 this way and 10 to 15 the other way. Feet together, circle your joints. Now with your feet and wrists, you can do them at the same time. I do my wrist and my foot circling out and around. Get your wrists loosen up. Again, synovial fluid being released to the joints. You actually will feel that. Now, other way with the wrist and go the foot the other way. Circle and swivel on the tip of your shoe. Now let's do the other foot and circle it, and you can pull your hand back like this. Circle it. Now you can circle the foot the other way and do the other arm. Do 2 at the same time. Be efficient. Okay? Now you can do your hands this way. This just stretches this area. Now pull it this way and it stretches the top. Go from the bottom up. Okay? And there's that one. Now next, I do trunk twisters. Let your foot pivot and loosen up the trunk. That's like hitting a stroke. See if I was going to hit a stroke? Similar, mimicking that. Let your knees pivot. Let your foot pivot. Trunk twisters. Now I got a real cool one for you. This is a yoga stretch. I put my feet together. Okay? Put your fingers like this. Lock your arms up above your head. Pull your elbows behind your ears and lean back and elongate your abdominal muscles and and stretch your back the opposite way of what it usually does. Such a good stretch. Now, similar stretch, except I'm going to go to my left, your right. Pull behind my ears and lean. And it stretches up the side of your body. Pull your elbows, I stress, behind your ears and stretch. Now the other way. Got to remember, range of motion is critical to be able to get to extra balls on a tennis court. Okay, next, I pull my elbow back like this. Stretches the tricep. Now the other arm, pull it back. Okay, Now pull across. Stretches the deltoid muscle there. And here. If you want to loosen back here in the traps, you just pull your head forward. Pull it like that, and it stretches that. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more. Well, actually, I'm going to show you a little more upper body. I put my arms out like this, and I do shoulder circles. With the kids, I call these babies. Then when they get a little bigger, birdies. And a little bigger, big eagle wings, eagles. And that's really important, your rotator cuff. Now go backwards. Actually, it's even better to point your thumbs like this. And now go back, birdies, a little bigger. And then eagles. Now, for your neck, you want to put your hand on the jaw bone and push this way. Loosens up your neck. Then here, and go the other way. It actually is what we call contraindicated or not good for you when you circle like this or you go to the side like that. It compresses the discs in your neck. So it's not biomechanically appropriate or contraindicated, okay? So now I'm going to show you some other yoga stretches, okay? Check this out. This stretch is so powerful because it lengthens your abdominal muscles. I lay my feet back this way. I grab, let me pull it back a little farther so you can definitely see it. I grab my Achilles, and it's like you expose your heart to the sun. I call it the sun stretch. And you go like this. When I first did that, I could barely do it. I actually recommend taking off your shoes because it's uncomfortable for your foot to do that, to bend. And it can't really bend with the shoes on. When you do that, your shoes are off with a mat, then you can do it, okay? I can go like this, and then you can bend like that. And one other stretch for that you can do is you can go like this and stretch that too. Loosens all that up. Okay, now I call this a psoas stretch. We're back here, and it loosens up the hips. I put one leg up here, I cross it, I lengthen my leg back there, then I lean over it. And it loosens all this up, your hip area and your gluteus maximus. So if you look at it, I'm actually crossing my foot across my body like this, and then stretching it out with my knee on the back, laying back here, and I go down like this. And it loosens all that up. Okay? For lower back, I put one leg up, I bring my knee up, and I grab across with my opposite hand, and I twist. And I look the opposite way of my knee, and it gets my lower back. Oh. Then I'll let you see the other side, and I bring the opposite knee up, okay? Twist it, and I look this way. And that loosens up the lower back. I encourage you to breathe when you do this. And my final stretch is called the IT band stretch. And I roll it along this band right here, connects the knee to the hip, and loosens up your hips all the way up to your knee. Critical to do that. So I roll it here. And my left side is especially tight. I start at the top of my hip, kind of on my hip pointer, and then I roll it along the band. Go right in the middle of this roller and let it slowly dig into your IT band. It's going to hurt a little bit. Okay? And you roll it out. Okay, there's that side, and then you do the opposite side. Really important for range of motion. And you roll it out. So there's that. And another stretch. Let's see, we did the IT band stretch. And then that's basically it. Those are the main. Oh, one other stretch. You should have your back against a wall when you do this. But just so you can see it, it stretches all this out. Put your feet together. And don't press on it, and just let gravity have your legs open up here. I would do this for 1 to 2 minutes. Just let gravity open up all of this. Okay? With the back supported by a fence or a wall, it's much, much better. And don't force with your elbows. And this begins to open up. And here's one other stretch to open this up. You bring your knee up and open it out, and it opens this up too. Gotta open up, loosen up the hips. You can do it that way, up, in the middle and out. You can also come from the outside in. You can also come from the outside in. You can also come from the outside in like this. And that gets it too. So these are the very important stretches for tennis, and I will be adding new, even more advanced ones later, but these are the basics. Take care. Coach Jimmy G over and out.